Alrighty, let's go. Welcome back into the Squishy Sport Podcast in your continuation of the NRL Season Team Previews for 2026. We're getting closer and closer by the day to preseason. Cannot wait. What are we now? I think 5 weeks away from the first preseason game. It's getting eerily close, but this is the eighth team that we're doing part of our season previews. This episode, we have got the mighty West Tigers. How bloody good. A lot of controversy as per usual with the Tigers in this off-season. Nothing new really in the NRL world, but as I said, this is the eighth team that we've done so far. I've literally just finished recording the Sharkies preview, which will be out literally before this, like an hour or so before it. So if you haven't checked it out, remember to go check it out. As I said, this is the eighth. So we've done 6 before this as well, including the Sharkies. So we've done the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Warriors, Manly, and we've done the Doggies as well. So we're pretty much nearly halfway through after this one, through all the NRL teams. So they'll pretty much all be done heading into the start of preseason, which I said is just around the corner, and I'm bloody excited. So in our season previews, we go through the sort of recap of 2025 and where they are. Have a look at my prediction for the ladder, where they think they'll finish in 2026. Having a look at their 2026 gains and losses for players. If you just came from the Sharkies one, not too much action happening there. We'll go through their best 1 to 17 heading to round 1 and what I think is best 1 to 17 for the season for the Tigers, and looking at the rest of their squad, and then looking at their draw as well for 2026. And how it is looking for the Tigers heading into 2026. But I said, without further ado, let's get stuck right into it for the West Tigers heading into 2026. If you missed my ladder predictor video, I did about a month ago now, 4 weeks ago, bit of controversy around that one. I had the Tigers coming in at 13th, and for the purpose of these team previews, I've kept all my predicted teams in the same position for these previews, just to sort of keep it fair throughout the whole thing. So I said, I've got these Tigers coming in at 13th for 2026. So finishing above the bottom 4, just not quite making the top 8. If we had a look at where they finished in 2025, they did finish 13th there as well. They won 9 and lost 15. You did really think, though, obviously 3 wooden spoons before that, you really did see some improvement from the Tigers, which is good to see. You saw some fight. You saw them sticking in a lot of games, full 80 minutes. You kind of felt in previous seasons they kind of just drifted away in the last 20, but you actually saw the Tigers really put in for the full 80 this year. I think they had a couple comeback wins off the top of the head. I really don't remember the actual games, but you actually saw some good fight from the Tigers this year, which is really good to see. A lot different from what we've seen previously. If you look at their stats, though, the stats pretty much sort of reflects, I guess, where they finish on the ladder. Looking at their attack, finished 15th for the season, 477 points. So definitely a little bit of work there to do in the off-season. Looking at their defense, considers 612 points, finishing 13th for the season. So 13th in defense, 15th in attack, finishing 13th on the ladder. So honestly, you can't really have too many arguments about their ladder finish. Whether it should have been lower, it should have been higher. Pretty much was about right. There was a points difference of a minus 135. Coach is Benji Marshall, of course, and he'd been extended during this offseason until the end of 2030, which is huge. Massive extension for Benji Marshall, but good on him. Obviously, all the drama that happened with the Tigers, I'm not going to get into it. They decide they want to keep their coach and want to sort of make a statement and say, Benji is that guy. He's the coach. There were rumors if he was going to go, that there was a lot of other marquee players that were going to go with him as well, which would not have been good for Tigerland there, but good. Hopefully we'll see them turn a new page, or not turn a new page, but get around the corner from what has happened so far. If we have a look at 2026 gains and losses for players, they haven't done too much in the market for gains. They've signed a guy like Maverick Geyer, which is a handy replacement there of one of the sort of forwards or edge rowers do get injured for the Tigers there. Coming from the Panthers, he's just signed a 1-year deal. You've got Jock Madden coming down from the Broncos. He's signed for 2 years until the end of 2027. Again, a guy that won't be featuring for me in the 1 to 17, but a guy, as I said, if a guy like Latu Fainu or Jerome Luai does get injured, he can step into that role and probably maybe play an effective role for the Tigers if it's like a short-term injury. And then their marquee signing, I guess, for 2026 is Kai Pearce-Paul from the Knights. So he is signed until the end of 2028. Had a couple of really good years for the Knights, I thought, in the last 2024 and 2025. Particularly 2025, he finally got to play on that right edge. He finally saw him offload the ball, thank fuck. So we should see him again start on the right edge for the Tigers straight away. As I said, their marquee sign, I think he'll be quite good for the Tigers and make a positive impact. We have a look at 2026 losses. Obviously, we had not the drama, but they lost Lockie Galvin during the year, and that was a huge, huge loss for the Tigers, right? Cannot go on anymore about how much of a bigger loss that was to the Tigers. A lot of fans thought he was the guy for the next 10, potentially 15 years, a guy that was going to guide them to a premiership from the wooden spoon all the way to the top, a guy that was going to be a one-club man. And he's decided early on in his career he wanted to go elsewhere, signing with the Doggies during the year. And that meant we had the, come up of Latu Fainu in the halves, which was really cool to see, I thought, in my opinion. So he's obviously a big loss for the Tigers overall in the whole aspect of things. You got guys like Talon Da Silva. He also left the Tigers, a guy that was coming off the bench for the Tigers in a hooker position for Appy in like that last sort of 20 minutes here and there. But if you look at that other sort of losses, not too much to sort of report. Charlie Staines, he's off to the Super League. Charlie Staines, just like he's here and there. You saw so much good, but you saw so much bad as well. I don't think he's a massive loss for the Tigers, really, in my opinion there. But if we have a look at their best 1 to 17 heading into round 1 of next year for the Tigers. You got obviously some very familiar names. We've got a couple new ones though, but what I really like from the Tigers is you kind of sort of know what, in my opinion, what you sort of know what your 1, 6, 7, and 9 is going to be, what your forwards are going to be, what your edges are going to be, and what mainly of your backline is going to be as well. Which is going to the Tigers here, you just had no idea what it was going to dish up, but I think I've seen a couple of different ones around for lineups or how the Tigers look, and I've changed it a bit, and this is what I think the Tigers should be doing in the best 1 to 17, in my opinion, for the Tigers heading into round 1 next year. Or round 2, sorry. They got the bye in round 1. But fullback, Dream Buller, no questions asked there. We know how talented Dream Buller can be. I thought he had maybe a little bit of an off year this year, Buller, and we saw his how good he was at the end of 2024. So bloody good. And then I thought 2025, just wasn't as good as he was at the back end of 2024. He had a really couple of good games though in 2025 for sure near the back end. I'm really hoping we see some consistency with Dream Buller in 2026. And when I say consistency, good consistency. He can really make this team special. He can really take them to top 8 100% if he really has good chemistry with Jerome Luai, Api Coruscant in the other half that I'll mention. On your wings, I've gone for Sania Charuva on the right wing, try-scoring weapon in 2025. One of their signings coming from Panthers in 2024. He looks really passionate about the Tigers, which is a really important thing. It looks like he wants to be there. He wants to play for the Tigers. Scored plenty of tries, which is cool to see. Got the claw out, which is cool. And then the other wing, we're going to go, sorry if I stuffed this up. Hemase Makasini. He was debuted in the last round this year against the Titans. He scored on debut as well. And probably thinking, what about Jarrell Skelton? I get it. Jarrell Skelton, super talented. I think if you're looking at the big picture long term, you got to get this Makasini guy in there before he does what the other Tigers players have done or ex-Tiger players have done previously and leave. You can't let go of Makasini. He is a rocket. He is a weapon. He's going to score plenty of tries. And if he stays with the Tigers, he's going to be a very much a long-term option for a very long time with the Tigers, 100%. He's a center or a winger in the New South Wales Cup. I've got him starting on the wing here. I really like the centers for the Tigers. I think maybe down the line, when he gets a bit more mature, a bit better at defense at NRL level, maybe he can step into that center role. But I think early on, get him on the wing, just get him scoring tries under the high ball, that sort of thing. In your centers, on your left center, we've got Talon May, who is just a weapon for the Tigers in the back half of this year. Obviously had the first half, maybe the first 16 rounds off for the completely off the NRL. Tigers signed him, which was a bit of controversy, but he fully proved his point. Playing with his brother now, you can see the passion that he wants to be there now, playing with his brother, and hopefully Terrell can actually really keep him in line. Looks like Terrell stays really calm, and it looks like Talon's like the hothead of the brothers. So hopefully in 2026, we can see Terrell May have a good preseason with Talon and keep him under check, keep him nice and sensible, responsible, and committed to his footy, because we know how talented Talon May is. Won a premiership with the Panthers. Now he's gone to a team like the Tigers. He can really take this team to new heights, I think. And then on the other center, the right center, we have Stafford Toa. The absolute breakthrough of Stafford Toa this year. Holy dooly. Absolute, I thought, came out of nowhere. Was super underrated, and compared to you look at the other centers in the comp, he absolutely lit it up in some of these games. Absolutely torched some teams for the Tigers in 2025. So he still gets a starting position there in the right center. Look at that back five. There is so much talent there. So much talent. And I think if you can try and get good meterage, I think they're going to score plenty of points. There's no reason why they can't. It's just where they can put it all together. They're going to be a hard bloody team to stop on attack, I think, the Tigers in 2026. In your halves, at number 7, their marquee signing from last year, Jarome Luai, who I thought definitely had a feature near the back half of this year. Did take a little bit while to get going, I thought, for the Tigers. If you look at his stats, generally didn't have a lot of assists. He was contributing to a lot of tries. Just didn't really have the big impact that we're used to seeing to him at the Panthers. Maybe he's not going to try and do that running game as much. We saw him in the number 7 jersey, meant to be more on the right side, drift over to the left quite a lot. So now he's got a full preseason under his belt with the Tigers now. And I think with the combination that he puts with Latu Fainu, who I've got at number 6, then with a full preseason together with Dream Buller, with Api Coruscant hooker, in this back five, this Tigers attack easily should be top 8. They should really score some points this year, or next year, sorry, which is exciting because they've got to improve on their defense, but we could really see some high-scoring games from the Tigers next year. Their attack could be blistering. That back 7, that 1-7, is going to be bloody hard to stop there. And then in front of it, you've got Fanua Pole, who is a beast, and then you've got Terrell May as well. I mean, Terrell May, what more can you say about him? He has the ability to go 80 minutes. Cannot believe he's not picked for Origin, but he is just an absolute workhorse. He is so fit. I think he's not close to Payne Haas, but he's very close to that level for sure. As he's got the ability to go long distance if he need him to, which I think is so important in the modern day game with HIAs, that sort of thing, with more injuries happening. Terrell May, holy dooly, what an absolute weapon. And then Fanua Bole, as I said, your 1-10 is looking super strong for the Tigers there at the moment. Your edge rowers, we've got on the right edge, we've got Kai Pearce-Paul, marquee signing for them in 2026. If he keeps doing what he did at the Knights, they'll score plenty of tries, I think, on that right side. You've got dual threats there now. You got him next to Jarome Luai for that short ball to go through the line. Then if he doesn't break the line, he can offload it to a guy like Toa, or you've got also Sania Turuva on that wing as well. Both edges are looking very, very good for the Tigers this year. The other edge, you've got Samuela Fainu, one of the other Fainu brothers. Again, super fit, know how talented he is, can break the lines, can score tries. Sort of what you're looking for, I guess, in a Tigers second row. So at the moment, 1-12, we're looking bloody good. In your 13 jersey, this is where I've seen a little bit difference, right, in some predicted 1 to 13s. I've seen people put this guy in the halves. I've seen him come off the bench. I've seen him, he can play center. That's Adam Doueihi. I've got Adam Doueihi there at the lock role. I think he can more play kind of like potentially that fifth playmaker, not take the big runs like we see from other locks in the comp, like your McInnes's, like your Morgan Smithies, like your kind of like your Kobe Hetheringtons, that kind of thing. Adam Doueihi, he can kind of play that versatile role. If he needs to put that kicking game in, he can. He can kind of really have that strong passing game as well to link all the passes together to be sort of that linchpin, that middleman. That was a hard position, right? Because I think long term they should be putting Latu Fainu into the halves. I don't think long term Adam Doueihi is actually the option there at number 6. I would rather have the bigger body there at number 13 and get the talent of Latu Fainu there in the halves. I think he's too good to come off the bench, Latu Fainu. And you could put a couple guys in that 13 jersey. You could probably put Alex Twal there. I've got him coming off the bench. But for the moment, I've got Adam Doueihi there in that lock position. Looking at the bench for the Tigers heading into 2026 in the 14 jersey, I've got Tristan Hope there. You could probably put a couple guys there. We know Api Coruscant can probably play at least 60 to 65. So you mainly just need a guy, I think, who can play like maybe the last 10 minutes of the first half and the first 10 minutes of the second half. Let Api play the first 30 and the last 30 and him do the damage. Just someone to give good service to the spine, right? That's all you need to give good service to Fainu and Luai and Buller. I think you're doing your job there for the Tigers. We know the ability of Api Coruscant. Tristan Hope should not be trying to replicate what Coruscant can do. I think Tristan Hope should just get in there, get his work done, good service to like the spine, and then when Api comes on, just let him do the work there. Your other 3 bench positions, I've gone for Bunty Afoa, who I didn't actually mention was one of their signings heading into next year. They have signed him from the Waz. I've got him coming off the bench there. I mean, he played for the Waz. He played during like the first 20 minutes and then maybe like the last 10 or so. He's an absolute weapon though. If he starts, he will start for like 20 minutes. Otherwise, he's really effective off the bench for like 20 minutes. He just goes hard as possible, gets his tackles in, gets a mountain of runs in for like 20 minutes, and just exhausts himself, and then job done for Bunty. That's what you're going to get from Bunty. Nothing more, nothing less. In the 16 jersey, I've gone for the other third Fainu brother, Sione Fainu. Good replacement there in the middle if you need it. Maybe that Ed Rower, and again, if Samuela or Kai Pierce-Paul get injured, he can definitely step in there and play a decent role. And then we just spoke about him in the 17 jersey, gone for Alex Twal coming off the bench. If Adam Doueihi needs a rest, he can come on, replace him. He can come in the middle if need be. He can play on the edge as well if need be. Alex Twal, nice and versatile there in the middle. So can play in the middle, can play an edge role if he need to, can play also that lock role, connect some passes together. And then, now if we look at the rest of the squad, I think it's a little bit deeper than what people are thinking. Like, we haven't even mentioned a guy like Alex Seyfarth, who was actually starting around 1 for the Tigers this year. Now he's not even getting a mention in my 1 to 17, which I think is a testament to how much this Tigers team has grown and the talent that's coming through. You got a guy like Jack Bird, who also started in round 1 at lock. You've got guys like Royce Hunt, who came off the bench this year for the Tigers a lot. You got guys like Jarrell Skelton, who started a lot of games on the left wing for the Tigers this year. You got guys like Luke Laulili, Heath Mason, who played a lot of fullback for Jareem when he was injured as well this year. You got Jock Madden there as well. So you've got quite a deep top 30, I think, for the Tigers. And if there is an injury that goes down, I think you've got some handy replacements there ready to go. As I said, Alex Seyfarth, if he's not on the bench, Jareem Bully gets injured. Heath Mason can come back in. He's played a handful of games. You've got Maverick Guy there as well, who's been in the Panthers system before. You got guys like Jarrell Skelton. If like Taruva or Makasini just isn't that level, just get Jarrell Skelton there. He's an absolute weapon. Royce Hunt can do his damage off the bench if need be. Jock Madden, if one of these, Jock Madden has started NRL games for the Broncos before, plenty. And I really like where the Tigers team is heading. I I don't think they'll be bad. I don't know whether like they'll win 10 or 11. I just think the top, like, I think it'll be very tight from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I think the bottom 4 after that will be a little bit lackluster. I can definitely see them having their shining lights, which I feel like they do most years. It feels like all the Tigers are back. They're gonna make top 8. The truth is they haven't played a finals game since 2009, 2010 or something. So it's been a long time for the Tigers, and it would have to be a stellar year for the Tigers to make the top 8, I think, just because of how good the other teams are looking in the comp. Yeah, I said you got guys like your top 4, like your Roosters, your Sharks, like your Broncos, like your Raiders, you got Warriors, you got Doggies, you got Souths there as well, who had a poor year. They should be more improved next year. Dolphins there as well. Plenty of other teams. I think the Eagles will be good next year. So there's plenty of other good teams, I think, in the NRL this year. It's just whether they can win those games. They've got to be able to win the tight games as well. And I think they've got to be able to go on big road trips and actually be able to beat a big top 4 team, which is big, right? They've got to be able to go down and beat a top 4 team. In terms of their actual draw, it's not the worst. It's not the best, though. They play the Raiders and the Doggies twice. So they play the top 4 6 times. They are the 2 teams they play twice. They play 12 games against the top 8. So they do play, 4 of the other... not 4 of the other 8. They play, 2 of the other bottom 4 teams of the top 8 there, from 5 to 8. I'm not sure who that is, off the top of the dome there. I think one of them is the Warriors. They play 12 games against outside the top 8, and considering they're one of the bottom 8 there, that's quite handy, and they play 6 games against the bottom 4 as well. So they've got some favourable matchups, 100%. They stay in New South Wales for the majority of the season, not too much travel as well. I know they have, I think it's 4 or 5 games outside of actual New South Wales. So you got Magic Round. I think they've got a trip to Canberra, a trip to New Zealand as well. They probably have to go up and play a team like the Titans on the Gold Coast or something, but not too much trouble. They've got 5 or 6 games at Leichhardt Oval, which is good to see. They are so good when it comes to Leichhardt Oval. It is their fortress. They should be playing there as much as they can there, in my opinion, splitting it between Leichhardt, Campbelltown, and I probably have some at Bank West as well. Oh, sorry, CommBank, not Bank West, excuse me. Honestly, they don't have too many downsides. As I said, they've got a trip to New Zealand. In the Origin period, they do play the Titans and the Dragons, who don't have too many Origin players out. Obviously, you got guys like Tino will be out there for the Titans, so it's not the worst. If you look at this Tigers team, they're not going to lose too many players to Origin. Maybe Terrell, maybe Coruscant, but not really a whole lot. So it should be full strength when it comes to them around the Origin period. I don't have what their buys in. They do have the buy in round 12. I'm not sure what their other buys are. Apologies. But I said, draw isn't that bad. It's not absolute shit whatsoever. Fox Sports are rated 9th, so literally right in the middle. They've got some very favourable matchups. They don't have to travel too much. And I think, I said, their matches in the buy aren't the worst. The ceiling is top 8 for the Tigers. The ceiling is top 8. The floor is definitely bottom 4, though. I'll just have them right in that middle position there for the Tigers. But I think 1 to 13 is looking bloody good. Even their bench is solid as well. It could be an exciting year for the Tigers. It really could be an exciting year. But that will do it for this season preview here of the West Tigers heading into 2026. Previewing their 1 to 17, looking at their 2025 season in a nutshell, and their 2026 gains and losses player-wise. Couple good signings there. As I said, you've got Bunty Afoa and Kai Pearce-Paul there. They had their mid-season losses during the year this year, but I think they'll be able to accommodate and make do and have some success. I think if Latu Whānau does get the starting 6 jersey, I think that'll be huge long-term for the Tigers, and also Makasini get the resurgence, let's see, the surge of Makasini in the NRL, which should be pretty cool. But as I said, that will do it for this episode of the season preview of the Tigers, the 8th team that we've done so far now. We're pretty much halfway through the comp. 9 more teams to go, which will be coming out pretty much 2 a week for you, coming up every Tuesday right until preseason, and then we'll be sort of reviewing and previewing the preseason and the rest of the NRL season for you. Remember to go check out the other 7 teams if you haven't already for season previews. Remember to go check out the ladder predictor I brought out about a month ago as well. My full draw predictor 1 to 17 for 2010-26. Very, very early, so don't come at me too hard. Remember to follow all my socials, all at Squishy Sports, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, all of the above. Remember to like this video as well and subscribe to the channel, getting more subscribers every day. That will do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and cheers.